Every year in Ireland, 13 to 14,000 cars are stolen, and of that, 2,000 are never recovered, and sadly a proportion of these end up being sold on to unsuspecting buyers as cloned cars. Gerry Heery from Kingscourt, County Cavan was one of these, and he spoke to motorcheck.ie about his costly experience.
The car was a 03 Volkswagen Passat diesel. It was advertised on the internet for €4,400. We met the person who was selling it at private sale. We met him and we tried to get the price down, and we took it for a test drive, and the car drove perfectly, 100%.
Was there anything unusual about the way the deal was conducted?
No, he was there and explaining what the car was and how good it was, and basically what the car was like. And then we said take it for any test drive you like, and so he came out and we took it for a test drive, and the car drove perfect.
So you met in the car park of, it was near a supermarket?
Near Tesco supermarket in Bettyston.
And the deal was done, handshake there and then, after you doing the sort of usual visual checks in the car?
Done the visual checks that as best I could, or as much as I knew, and checked the number plate, the tax disc corresponded, the numbers corresponded, number plate and tax. NCT was covered.
And it all matched up, and as much as you could from looking at it, it looked okay?
It looked okay, everything looked okay, and he also had the vehicle registration documentation. That looked okay. We now know it was a fake, but it looked okay to me. Same as every vehicle registration docket. Number corresponded with the number plate as well. So
as far as you were concerned, you had done as much as humanly possible to check
at that time.
At that time, from knowing what you knew then.
Yeah.
So was there anything before you'd left that struck you as odd at all? No.
No, the car was advertised on the internet, and it was around the same price range, cheaper than some and dearer than some. Nothing unusual about it. The car looked perfect anyway on the internet. It looked perfect down to me. So
when was the first time the alarm bells went that you thought there was something wrong?
The alarm bells rang that evening when we came back about 7 o'clock after buying the car. I failed to take the receipt that he wrote out, and I rang the number that it was.
Had he written out the receipt but then just not given it?
He was in the process of writing out something in the back of the car, and what it was now I'm not sure.
Right, okay.
My daughter filled in the registration vehicle that you do, and he takes that back naturally enough because he posted then. That's what normally happens, I think, in those cases. And at the same time he was writing out the receipt, and I suppose there was a bit of talk, or he was probably that good. Money passed hands then, €4,000 cash. That's what the figure we agreed on. And probably with the talk and the money and everything, I forgot to take the receipt there and then come home, rang the number, and no reply to the number anyway. About an hour later I rang it again, no reply. I left it till the following morning, rang it the following morning, and no reply again. Tried the house phone, the landline number, and no reply either. Tried the daughter's mobile phone, a different phone, no reply. So went back into motorcheck.ie then, done a check on it. When I put in the registration number, everything came back checking out. And see, one thing that I didn't have then, that I was at work, was the chassis number.
Right, okay.
So then, when I put the chassis number into it, then it came back no match. So I was upset. 4,000 down the drain she was looking at. And
did you, at that stage, had you called the guards?
At that stage, about 20 minutes or half an hour later, though, she went into the guard station because she was in turmoil. And the guard that was on duty done a check on it, came back as a stolen car.
And have the Gardaí now taken possession of the car?
The Gardaí took possession of the car and went to the crime, they done forensics on it. see if they could find out any details of who stole it or whatever.
And I mean, as a consumer now, are your rights gone to that car? You've lost your money as well.
Yeah, soon my hand's gone. Yeah.
And I suppose it's a hard lesson learned. But if you were to give advice to someone now who is buying a car privately, what would you say from the lesson at least you've learned?
Well, from the one thing that you really need to do is make sure that you have the chassis number and the registration number that they match. Or definitely get in contact with somebody. Don't buy there and then, give a deposit, come home, check things out if possible. But don't be a fool to bring money like I did. Unfortunately, for some reason, we had the money that day and brought the money with us.
Okay. So, I suppose, would you recommend a service like MotorCheck in that case? I would
recommend like if I had to do things right and win the MotorCheck.ie and do it properly, we wouldn't be in this position now. But then again, we would never have met that guy because he wouldn't have had the proper chassis number. We'd never have met him. Because he couldn't give the chassis number because then
So I mean, and these guys who are performing these scams, they're quite clever. They're quite shrewd as well. I imagine he was probably quite charming and
he done his job brilliantly and a professional, I suppose you could call him.
Okay.
He definitely conned me, and I was always weary of something just happening in all my life, and even talking to fellas at work, and I said I'd be weary of buying stuff like that, and I walked into the shop.